To the Glenn Beck program. Tonight, Indoctrination in America. A recent study shows that a college degree moves a person towards the more democratic or liberal side of the political spectrum. Surprise, right? But a greater civic knowledge moves a person to become more Republican or conservative. Over the next hour, I'm going to show you how and why this is happening. You know, years ago, there was an announcement before the local newscast. It said, "Parents, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are?" In fact, there's still a station here in New York City that still does that. But I think the question should be changed now. Maybe a somewhat modified version, because I think it's more relevant today. Parents, it's 2010. Do you know where your children are and what they're learning? You should. There's a concerted effort now to indoctrinate your children with a progressive propaganda agenda, and it's going on right now, and it is everywhere. You'll see things on the Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, you know, the global warming agenda, and you're like, come on, SpongeBob, can you just talk to the crab? Many of our nation's schools are now hitting kids with a full progressive assault, and we as parents and citizens need to be aware. Yesterday, the National Day of Action to Defend Education took place. Wow. That sounds, who's not a defender of education? The rally website says the event was to protest against the current assault on public education. I didn't know there was one, did you? Yes. Tuition hikes, budget cuts, furlough days, intentional reduction in enrollment. So, if it's really just about education and just, protecting the kids, why did virtually every socialist and communist organization in existence support this event? Including a couple of my personal favorites. First was the Students for a Democratic Society. Gosh, have you heard that before? Where did I hear that? I remember. Chalkboard, Tree of Revolution. This thing we've had for about a year. This is when we started first putting it all together. Look here, Bob Woodrow Wilson. Oh, SDS. SDS. This is where Bill Ayers came from. Van Jones, Dale Rathke, Wade Rathke. This was let's blow things up. And then Cloward and Piven said, no. Let's try to just collapse the system. The people who are the real radical SDS in the 1960s, Bill Ayers, did blow things up. They sponsored what was in your school yesterday for your children. Also, the Socialist Party USA, several progressive student alliances, and something called Fight Imperialism Stand Together, among many more. Why? It's a school function. I'm going to show you a list of some of the organizations involved. This according to the Rally website. Look at some of these organizations. Of course, all the unions were there. A faction of La Raza was there, a civil rights, Latino civil rights organization jumping on board. And they're apparently trying to turn this into an education is a right message. And they are using this platform to allow illegal aliens to use in-state tuition as their protest message. This organization is also involved. I don't even know what this is. Do you want this in your school? Look at this. This is the Eagle. I don't know, is that like some Mad Max kind of weapon? But this is a stick of dynamite. This is a radical group that wants to reclaim the southwestern U.S. from Mexico. In our schools? All of these? Really? Texas State Employees Union. What's going on? Well, there is a battle right now for the future of our country, and they know they can't get you because you recognize it. But they've brainwashed our kids. They've not taught history for a while. And now there's a battle for the hearts and minds of our children because they can still grab them. And while you're busy trying to make a living, navigate through the daily madness piling up all around us, trying to figure out what Washington is even doing, learn again about the Constitution. Well, progressives are working on your children, your kids. Everything. Everything is about planet worship now. This was sent to us by a teacher. This is in schools now. I like this. Planet worship. I pledge allegiance to the earth. What? Or social justice. I love the social justice stuff and supporting Barack Obama. I mean, we've seen the stuff about supporting Barack Obama. You've seen these videos over and over again in our schools. Let me show quick clips of them. Progressives and Obama are getting considerable help from our teachers and teachers' unions in public schools. You saw not only this one, but you also saw this. Okay? These aren't isolated incidents anymore. It's not simply enough to indoctrinate them with the progressive agenda. They're now being told who to vote for, who to support. They're being told now, and this is the really evil, spooky part, they're being told now that they know more than you do, their parents. We have shown you that progressives like Al Gore have pitted their children against parents. This is Al Gore, audio, smuggled a tape recorder smuggled in by one of the students that went to this speech. The dad called me up and gave me the tape. Here's Al Gore, the Vice President of the United States, former Vice President, telling thousands of teens and preteens at an inaugural youth conference not to listen to their parents. Watch this.
There are some things about our world that you know that older people don't know.
What? What? Help me out with that one, Al. That's evil. I'm sure the parents appreciated, Al telling their impressionable children that they know more about life. Mom, the Vice President told me. Then we have Meghan McCain. She started out on Larry King Live, and she said this quick clip.
I consider myself a progressive Republican.
Okay, all right, like I'm a progressive Republican because it's for progress. Well, maybe she should have attended some of those child empowerment camps. Or maybe she already has, because she seems to think that her wisdom at 24 exceeds the knowledge and wisdom of the feeble old coots who are like, 40 or like 50 or like, they're just like so stupid. Watch this.
I have taken heat, but in fairness to me, I am a different generation than the people that are giving me heat. I'm 24 years old. I'm not in my 40s. I'm not in my 50s and older.
Oh. Obama's own website during the campaign featured a video called The Talk. It had kids talking to kids about the talk that they had to have with their parents. Talk to your parents about Obama and political issues. Talk to your parents. Make sure they understand.
It almost feels like a parent-child conversation, except I'm the parent and they're the child.
The President of the United States encouraging kids, some on video that couldn't have been more than 14, to presume that somehow or another they just automatically have more knowledge, wisdom, and experience and political savvy than their parents do. It is despicable. Why are we standing for it? Think back when you were 14 years old. Forget 14. You remember when you were 24 and you thought you'd never die and everybody else was just stupid? Got it? Now think about what you knew then and what you know now. Even if you had an IQ of 500 when you were a teen or 21, 24 years old, you didn't have maturity. You didn't have reason. You didn't have logic that can only come with age and experiencing life. It's just not there at 24. Not that you're an idiot, but all of a sudden, if you're over 30 years old, gee, where did I hear that? Don't trust anybody over 30. Oh yeah, that's right, the radicals in the 60s who are now over 30 and running everything and teaching our children. If these people can convince our kids before they have a chance to develop their senses and have their feet in cement, he has a chance to change the mindset of this nation. That's what this president and his allies are doing. That's what they're trying to do. There is a Obama supporter. I don't want to even give his name. He's a big progressive. I'm just going to call him Eric, because every time I hold up a book on this show, people go out and buy it. I'm not going to help this guy get rich. He has written a book. I'm just going to call it Eric's Book. It's sold about 8 copies nationwide. The point is not necessarily the book, but the agenda in it, because it's happening everywhere. It's propaganda. And he's got this book and this video out that are propaganda pieces. And I'm telling you, they would make Joseph Goebbels proud. The video is dedicated to the twisting of youth in America and twisting them into not good citizens, but progressive zombies. Watch this.